Hello, welcome to Noble Flowers. We are Moroni and Phaedra, and we live in the northeast of Victoria on the southeast side of Australia, and we farm flowers full time. So this is our job here, and we support our family of 5. So welcome. Hello.
Hello.
What are you doing?
I'm putting my boots.
Why?
Because it's better than going barefoot.
Oh yeah, I like the barefoot investor. Well, I guess this is goodbye.
Hi, why?
Because I'm going to pick flowers.
Oh, okay.
Gracias.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye.
That was my best friend. He lives here. So that's fun. So today is... That's a good question. Friday. This is what happens when you work from home. You've got no idea what day it is. But it's Friday. And so Valentine's Day is Monday. We're picking flowers, but not for Valentine's Day. This is just for sales this afternoon when we go roadside. Today's a bit of a quiet day before the storm, so that's good. So I'm going to pick cosmos foliage, but something I wanted to talk to you about was we got asked a question the other day, and it kind of like took me back a little bit because I didn't imagine that people were probably thinking this, and it's fine if people are thinking it, I don't really care, but the question was, so we were talking about how the farm's supporting us, and the person was so surprised and said, "Oh, are you guys not on Centrelink?" And it kind of took me back a little bit because I hadn't even considered the fact that people maybe are thinking that. And I don't think there's anything wrong with Centrelink. I think it's there if you need help. So what Centrelink is, it's a social services agency that delivers like welfare payments. So if something changes in life and you don't have enough money to survive, you can apply for a payment until you get back on your feet. So there's lots of controversy around the definitions of that and what people use it for, but ultimately my view on it is it's there to help people get back on their feet. And sometimes, like if you've ended up with a disability and you just can't work, you can apply to get a payment from Centrelink and survive and not end up homeless. So it's actually an amazing way that our government assists us. So no, we're not on Centrelink. So this farm, and if you've been watching along, you've seen me just, pan over the farm. It's not that very big, but what we're growing here is enough to support a family of 5. And I guess that is probably a bit surprising to people. But if you're wanting to grow flowers, it's actually like a really profitable crop, and it doesn't take up a lot of room. If you've watched Lisa Mason-Ziegler from Gardener's Workshop, she'll say the same. She's a micro farm and she's growing in a very small space, and she's earned a living off it for I think over 20 years. So, and her farm's not very big. It's clever, and she inspires us to set up in a very similar way so that we can keep our farm small and manageable. But yeah, like this is our only income. When we did that video back in, I can't remember, but I know we went all in on the 1st of July 2021, sorry. So we've been doing this for just over 6 months, supporting ourselves, and it's paid our bills. Some weeks we actually do better than we did when we had regular jobs. So during the kind of worst of the pandemic, when we're in Victoria, Australia, so you've probably seen us on the news. We've had very heavy, I don't want to say leadership, because I don't think it was. Very heavy rules. So originally I was a social worker. That's what I went to university for. And then I went and did half of a teaching degree. Went on my prac, had kids literally hang off the rafters because they put me on the class with all the real difficult kids, which was a pretty mean thing to do to a student teacher. And I had a-hole supervisors. And when I say that, they were so bad, I had to report them to the university to say, and I was an adult, like I wasn't a young kid coming out of uni. I'd already done a degree and was going back. I was like mid-20s. I'm way off track here, but I had to contact the university and recommend that they don't send any more students there, because as a grown adult with, I was working. Okay, to give you some perspective, as a social worker, I was studying the teaching degree and I was working in child protection, one of the hardest areas you can work in, and I nearly broke down at this school with these teachers. Like, it was just awful. Anyway, I pulled out of teaching at that point. And I don't think those teachers ever supervised another student after me. I didn't have as much front back there either, but I was like, nah, they can't be putting students with these people. But anyway, so I've done a few things. And then when I had kids, I left social work, and it really wasn't for me anyway. Had kids and I retrained as a photographer, and I've done that since 2011. So, but during the pandemic, with all the lockdowns, I pretty much lost all my work, and I'd built up a business where I did photos at daycare centres, and it was really good money. So I was actually making really good money as a photographer, but in the end there was a rule, and it specifically said photographers can't enter daycare centres. So I lost all my work, and it was pretty kind of heartbreaking. But in the middle of it all, we were feeling like we needed to change things around and go all in on the flower farm. So I kind of just accepted it as, this is where our lives were headed, and this is the fate of things right now, and took it as a blessing rather than something bad that would happen to us. So we just, mid last year, by the 1st of July, we'd gone all in. I'd lost my jobs basically and decided not to try to get them back. The restrictions did lift and I could have gone back, but I actually decided I needed to put the time and energy into this, so I did. And now I use my photography skills on the farm. And in the future, I will open up I still do private work, and I'll do some commercial work if a company hires me for it, but I don't put a lot of energy into advertising it or stuff like that. And I use photography on the farm now, so I really enjoy making sure my Instagram looks pretty. So that's where those skills are going at the moment. So we went all in, and it was the biggest leap of faith. And if you go back and watch those videos around that time, you will see how stressful that was for us, because we have 3 little kids and bills to pay. But one of the very, very, very important key factors as to why we could do this is we have low debt. So, and I know not everyone's in that situation, but both of us have always been just careful with our money. We just haven't bought things if we haven't had the money for it. We don't use credit cards. We just don't spend money if we don't have it. And we've always been like that. So that ended up meaning that when we wanted to go all in on this farm, we actually had really low bills. So if it didn't go so well, we weren't going to go under. The other thing we thought too back then was, well, my jobs are kind of like dried up anyway because of the pandemic, and I was self-employed already, so if I had to, I can go back and find more work. And Moroni was working a job he hated, so we just thought, if this goes to crap, we'll just go find other jobs. Which, in hindsight, everybody was trying to do that because a lot of people had lost their jobs. So I don't know how easy it would have been to go and just find another job at that point. But and we would have been miserable. Like, it would have sucked to have to go and work for someone else again, but we could have if we had to. So I think the takeaway is if you want to go and do what you love and what you have a dream about, just do it. Like, what's the worst that can happen? It falls to crap and you have to go and reinvent yourself again. Like, who cares? If you hate your job anyway, what does it matter? Like, if you take a risk and leave it to do something else and it doesn't work out, just go get another crappy job you hate. I mean, do that until things work out for you. I don't know if I'm like giving good life advice or not, but that's what we did. Yeah, so I'm going to give you a look at this farm now so you can see what we're growing and how much, I don't know if in your area if it would work out, but if you go back videos to how pricing flowers, we price retail. We only sell retail, we don't sell wholesale. And you've got to be inventive, you've got to find customers. So we've worked really, really hard the last 6 months to build all of this up. We've shared it with you here on YouTube, and we hope, when we know that we're new at this, we're not experts by any means. We are, though, quite good at business, and we both have history that leads us to be able to run business. So, like I said, I've done photography for the last, what year is this? 12 years? No, 11 years. Well, whatever, it's something like that. Before that, I actually had, when my babies were really little, as I was transitioning over and learning photography, I actually, and this is going to sound crazy, I had a very small business, which wasn't that small. Like, I made a lot of money on it, but it was a small operation at home, making fabric sculpted ponies. I'll pop a photo up. And they kind of went a little bit worldwide. I couldn't sell to America. I couldn't get insurance to cover me to sell to the USA, but I was shipping them around the world and I couldn't keep up with demand, and it burnt me out a little bit. Anyway, that was my, I'd done business in the past. I'd done dressmaking and stuff, but I've slowly sort of increased my skills running businesses. And then I did the photography and now running a flower farm. And Moroni's history, he's an agronomist from Mexico, but then he moved to the USA and he did a business, what was his degree? Business and entrepreneurship or something. I can't remember what it actually was, but he's actually, so I've got the experience doing the businesses and he's got the knowledge of the theories and how to do that. So when we came together, it kind of worked out perfectly. So anyway, let me show you this flower farm.
It's a 16 buff in the dark. It's a 16 buff in the dark. It's a 16.
So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 16, 17, 18. So we've got 19 rows in this patch, And we've got 4 rows over in the other, and a couple of just random spaces where I basically just didn't know where to put things. So, you know, let's just say in production right now, we've probably got about maybe 20 rows of stuff growing, and our rows are 1 meter wide by 12 meters long. I've just done them all the same, so every piece of everything fits every bed that we want to use. So if we need to run out, if we need to grab a frost cloth or bird net or black plastic, whatever, it's going to fit every bed. And I'm sure there's going to be people that say that is a really weird size bed. But anyway, works for us. When we're putting some hothouses up the back here, I'm just waiting for the guy to come in. He's got to cut that out for us, level, and just a very slight, you know, runoff on it. And then we're ordering some big hothouses. But one of the companies we were about to purchase from can't deliver it to our door. They can deliver it to Albury. So, and I just think if we're spending $5,000 on a hothouse, I want it delivered to the door. So I don't want to have to stuff around with paying someone else with a truck to bring it out to us. So I might still have to go with them and just figure it out, but I can't find anyone to. There's not a courier company that will bring it out here. We might have to suck it up. I mean, I like their hothouses from this company, but I just think if you want to make a $5,000 sale, figure out how to get it to our house. I mean, you're selling stuff to farms. We're a farm. It's not that unusual that we live in the middle of nowhere. But anyway, probably they're watching it now. They're upset with me. I'm sorry. I actually really do like your stuff. I'm just annoyed that you can't get it to me. I've just been telling the people about our journey a little bit and that we're not on Centrelink.
Okay. Yeah, good.
Because it occurred to me that people might have been assuming, and I mean, they can assume that, we don't really care, but it is actually possible to live off a flower farm. That's our point.
Yeah, you need to work and work and work.
Work your guts out.
Yeah.
And just work hard on it. Our farm's not that big yet, but it'll be double size next year.
Yes, double, and the next year probably another double size.
Yeah. Are you going to fill the whole paddocks up here with flowers?
I guess so, yeah.
Yep. Okay, I'm going to keep picking now.
Okay.
Rona is picking foliage for us for today. I don't need a whole heap for today. I just need enough for today's bunches. And then today's Friday. Tomorrow I reckon we do the massive pick for Valentine's.
Yes.
So we're prepping. Today, I was saying today is the calm before the storm. After today we're going to get real busy.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, anyway, that's probably enough for today. So, thank you for watching. If you want to know more of our story, just go back and watch some more videos. It's all there. Otherwise, let me know in the comments what you do particularly want to know more about, and then I can work on a video for that. But I need to get cracking with this picking because I've got to get the kids to school, and then I've got to get dressed first and then go straight to town. So my day is kind of timed out of how I've got to do things today. I'm trying to get into some shade. So I'm going to go. Thanks for watching. Thank you for following along with us. We appreciate you. We're grateful for the comments. We're grateful for the connections we're making via this channel. It's cool. And next week, we will talk more about how Valentine's Day went, even though, you know, bits and pieces in this video, but we will talk to you about what happened. And for us, was it really the biggest money maker of the year? So, see you next week. Bye. I obviously don't pick anything from here because that's where that big spider is. But I just let her live there. Because in a strange way, I think she's cute and she has a nice life. Can you imagine being a spider and you live in a flower farm and you live in the cosmos? You'd be the envy of all your friends. So I'm just letting her have it.